Okay, I'm going to read Shadow Forest to you. This is one of my favourite books. It is so battered and worn because I've read it to almost every single class I've ever taught. I absolutely love it. There is a place you must never enter. It is a place where evil has many faces, and where creatures of myth and legend live and breathe and kill. It is a place beyond dreams or nightmares, a place that has so far been too feared to be called anything at all. Now, in this book, I will explain the unexplained, and give fear a name that suits it well. That name shall be Shadow Forest, and it will plant terror into your hearts. Professor Horatio Tanglewood. Chapter 1. On the way to a big surprise. The tree trunks laying on the back of the lorry were stacked up like a pyramid and fastened with 3 grey straps made from a material Samuel Blink didn't recognise. One of the straps was a bit too loose, and this caused the trunks to vibrate as if they were restless, or as if they were trying to escape and make it back to the forest. The lorry overtook the car at a reckless speed. "Have you seen anything like it?" Samuel's dad, Peter, was saying. "What a maniac!" Samuel's dad thought that every driver apart from himself was a maniac, and lorry drivers were the biggest maniacs of the lot. "Great," he said, as the giant vehicle began to slow down. "Now we'll never get there." The timber lorry was in front of the car, hogging both lanes, so that the white lines and the tarmac shot out from underneath it like lasers. "Oh, there's no hurry," said Samuel's mum, who was called Liv. She was never more relaxed than when his dad was getting cross. Samuel didn't know where they were going, but he knew he didn't want to spend another minute having to listen to his sisters singing. Well, singing was hardly the word for it. Cat strangling was more an accurate description of the sound. "Oh, Mum, tell Martha to stop making that horrible noise." His mum tutted. "It's not a horrible noise. It's beautiful singing." This was a lie. One of the million parent lies Samuel had grown used to during his 12 years on the planet. But he knew he would never get any support today. After all, it was Martha's birthday. A fact indicated by the 2 badges on her jumper saying, "I am 10 and 10 today." The singing got louder. Samuel's head vibrated like the logs as he rested it against the car window, staring out at the fast blur of grass on the side of the road. "Dad," he said, asking the second-in-command parent, "tell Martha." His dad ignored him. He was too busy grumbling about the timber lorry in front. "Oh, it is ridiculous. Why bother overtaking if you're going to slow down afterwards?" Martha twisted round in her seatbelt and sang really loudly in Samuel's ear. "I'm your baby girl, and you could be my world." Ugh, Samuel thought he was going to be sick. He hated his sister's singing at the best of times, but especially when he was tired. He only had 2 hours sleep the night before because he was having his usual nightmare. A nightmare about strange grey-skinned monsters with tails and eyes that never blinked. He'd woken up in a cold sweat and couldn't get back to sleep. "They should make murderers have to listen to you as punishment," he told Martha. "Shut up, Samuel, or should I say, Smelluel. You're just jealous." And then she started singing again, singing bits of silly girly love songs. He knew she would sing all day. After all, she sang every day. It was like Martha's whole life was one big long song, as if she was trapped in one of those rubbish musicals she always watched on TV. Samuel went back to looking out of the window and prayed for Martha to be quiet. Quiet as a log. Even when she said something normal, she turned it into a song, going high and low to make each word a different note. So instead of just asking, "Where are we going?" she sang, "Mom and Dad, where are we going?" To which their mum said, Oh, you don't want us to spoil the big surprise, do you?
Yes,
sang Martha. Well, you'll find out soon, said her mum. Not if we get stuck behind this lorry all day long, said her dad, talking about the timber lorry. Samuel wondered what the big surprise was going to be. He hoped it would be a trip to a theme park, like it had been for his last birthday. A loop-the-loop roller coaster would stop Martha singing for sure, even if only for a short while. He had gone on a ride with his dad called the Catapult that went so fast you couldn't move your face. Samuel had loved every high-speed second of it, and his dad had pretended to feel the same way until he had to rush to the toilet and throw up his lunch. Parent line number 910,682. But Samuel suspected that the big surprise was going to be something far more boring than a theme park. He thought of all the rubbish things Martha liked doing. Horse riding, doing hairstyles, spending her pocket money on rubbish music, listening to rubbish music, singing rubbish music. So Samuel had, on the basis of Martha's interests, narrowed the options down to a day trotting on a horse, watching his sister having her hair cut at a posh hairdresser's, or, worst case scenario, going to see a musical. Possibly even a musical about a hairdresser who becomes a show jumper and sings to her horse. Samuel smiled at the unique version of hell he had just created in his mind. Beep! The daydream of the people singing on horses ended, with the sound of his dad blasting the car horn at the timber lorry in front. This is ludicrous, his dad said, switching on the indicator. Oh, Peter, what are you doing? His mum asked. I'm turning off. We'll be on this road all day if we stay behind this timber truck. And have you seen the way the logs are strapped up? It's an accident waiting to happen. But we don't know the roads. We've got a map. It's in the glove box. Oh, no. Samuel and Martha knew what the map meant. It meant their mum and dad having a massive row for an hour, arguing about where they should have turned left. Okay, said their mum. We need the B642. Kids, look out for the B642. B642, sang Martha. B642. The car went round a roundabout 3 times until Samuel spotted the B642, hiding in brackets on a small green road sign. There it is, he said. The car turned off the roundabout, and within 5 minutes the map had managed to create the usual left-turn row. Samuel kept staring out of the window, and the birthday girl kept singing as their mum and dad's argument took root and began to grow. Left. What? Too late. Oh, we should have turned left back there. Oh, you could have told me. You're the one with the map. I did tell you. Well, you could have told me before we reached the flaming turn-off. It's this stupid old map. It's too hard to read. Samuel thought about what his mum had just said, and he wondered how a map could be stupid. And then he thought about the tree that was turned into the map to make the paper. Maybe the map was hard to read as kind of a revenge. Whatever the reason, they missed the left turn and were now stuck on the B642. If we keep going, we'll be able to get back on the dual carriageway, Samuel's mum said, as she analysed the map a little further. Oh, fan-flaming-tastic, said Samuel's dad. Back where we started. Oh, it was your idea to turn off. Well, we'd have been fine if you could read a map. Oh, no, said Samuel's mum. What's the matter? Samuel's dad shook the question out of his head. It doesn't join the dual carriageway. It goes under it. And to prove her point, the view round the next bend revealed a large concrete bridge directly above the B642. Samuel saw, to his far left, the timber lorry rising at a steady angle towards the bridge. What he couldn't see, something that would have required Samuel to have telescopic vision, was that the loose grey strap that helped fasten the logs had come completely undone. The other 2 straps were also now a lot looser than they should have been, causing the tree trunks to jump about at an increasingly violent fashion. By the time the second strap came undone, it was almost inevitable that the third would follow. And it did, which led to another inevitability, that the logs would start to fall. As the car headed towards the bridge, Samuel tried to keep his eyes on the lorry. He had worked out that if they kept going at the same speed, the car would go under the bridge at the exact same moment the lorry went over it. So when he saw the first tree trunk bounce off the lorry, he knew the potential danger. Dad, stop the car! Samuel, what on earth's the matter? Stop the car! The logs! Falling off the lorry! Stop the car! Oh, Samuel, what are you talking about? His dad was showing no sign whatsoever of stopping the car. The first log broke through the roadside barrier, 100 metres before the bridge, and started rolling down the slope towards the field at the side of the B642. Stop the car! Stop the car! Samuel, his mum added, with a question mark to his name when she was cross. Stop! Stop! Just stop! But the car kept going, and the logs kept falling, and his sister kept singing, Happy birthday to me! Stop! Samuel! We can't stop the car. Happy birthday to me! Can't you see? What? Look! The logs rolling down the hill. Happy birthday to Martha. Logs? What logs? Honestly, Samuel, I think you've got an overactive happy birthday to... That was the moment. That was when Samuel's dad finally decided to brake. That was also the moment when the first of the 10 logs that had formed the pyramid rolled off the lorry and crashed through the barrier. Only this time the tree trunk didn't roll down a grassy slope into a field. It fell over the bridge and straight onto the only car that was travelling on that particular stretch of the B642. Smash. It landed on the front portion of the roof, a heavyweight Scottish pine that had travelled 300 miles south on its way to a paper mill in Lincolnshire. Within less than a second of it hitting the thin metal, Samuel and Martha lost both their parents, while they themselves, along with the entire back of the half of the car, remained physically unharmed. Samuel held onto his sister's hand as they stayed sitting on the back seat. They were too shocked to move, or to speak, or to make any sound at all. Their eyes had seen more nightmares in the space of a second than in the course of their combined lifetimes. Neither of them knew where their parents had planned to take them for Martha's birthday. All they did know was that, whatever else happened, nothing would ever be the same again. End of chapter 1. The next chapter is called Aunt Ida.